Okay, welcome everybody. It's Jason from the Bead Gallery. Hi Jamie. Hi Amanda. Hi Anne. Trudy. Bev. Diane. Paul. Hi Christy. Carol. Kalinda. Oh my goodness. Callie. Hi Cheryl. Let's see. Cheryl. Anna. Neela. Oh, cute the dog. Hi Steph. And Heidi. Looks good. All right, so today we're going to do cleaning. Jamie's going to be on the other line as my host / moderator. And she's going to be letting in people like Beat Crumbs. She's coming in right now. And everybody should have one of these. Yeah. When you're ready, you can just open it up. It's not. It's quite a. It's a good kit. It's I think one of my better kits that I've built for tools. It has everything we need to clean any rusty tool and or bench block or something. I'm going to also show you how to build a file today. One of these, using that. And I'm going to show you how we can use some painter's tape. If you guys have painter's tape or drafting tape, you don't have to have it. If you have it on your desk somewhere, you can. Just use a piece of tape. It's going to just keep the thing together. Okay. All right. How are we doing, James?
We're doing good.
Okay. So very informal. I know everybody on the list, everybody uses tools and has a set of tools that either is getting dirty or is dirty. And dirty means basically it's rusty. It looks like, it'll look like this. This is just natural covering of rust, Okay, you see how it's not shiny anymore? Then we have stuff like this. Okay, you see this? This is spotting. You see that? That's all spotting. We're gonna get rid of that too. I'm gonna show you how to use that, how to use the tools to get rid of that. Later in the series, I'm gonna show you how, if you guys have really good hammers like Frex hammers, guess what? I'm going to show you how to get rid of those scratches. That sounds interesting, right? Yeah, because everybody has a good Frex hammer, but that I know of. I think I see everybody. Or you have a good German hammer, okay? What you don't want to do is your Pakistani hammers or your Chinese hammers that have, how can I say, they're coated with zinc or chrome, okay? Those you don't want to do because you're going to take the plating right off. But for the good hammers, you can take care of them. Okay, look at that. Okay, that is a semi-clean one. This is the same hammer plier line that's rusted. Can you see that? How bad that is? Okay, and then the demo I did before is I took some of it off, but I'm going to be more. This is what it should look like in the end. Can you guys see that? Oops, sorry, let me go center. There we go. How's that? Good. So we're going to get to this point, from this to this. And I saw one of my friends sent me a bench block picture. It's like totally covered in rust. Who's going to be doing that? Someone here sent me a picture of the rusty bench block, but we're going to do the rusty bench block. That's always a good common thing, spotting on your bench block. I don't have one now because we clean it all at the Bead Gallery. So sorry. So we can do these today. Okay. So open up your kit, open that up, and you're going to find your sandpapers. Wet dry sandpaper, some people call it emery cloth, but basically they're numbered in the back. Okay, they're numbered in the back, and the lower the number, you guys will either have a 220 or a 240, or a high number, you guys are either going to have a 1500 or a 1200. That's the coarse grit, and that's the fine grit. Okay, coarse and fine. All right, 220, 320, 400, 600 and 1500 or 1200. Okay, we're going to use these to clean up what's going on. All right. When you start using them, they'll start to change color like this. You know, they'll get all scratched up. Well, that's good. That is totally good. All right. Your tool oil. You guys, once this runs out, you can either pick some up with us again at the Bead Gallery, or you can use 3-in-1 oil. You guys also want to maybe use any type of synthetic oil that pushes water away. I usually don't recommend aerosol ones like silicone or WD-40 because it's too aerosol. It tends to be too slick. When you use oils like these, they're quite they hold the bite better of your pieces. Okay, of this, the grit. You have this, our final finishing. That's our steel wool. And don't forget to put your gloves on if you're going to get dirty and you're going to use the oil. And I usually recommend using the oil with the combination of these. Callie reminded me that by putting the oil on your piece, you keep the dust off your table. Okay, it keeps it together. Kind of like when we drill in water, it keeps the bit happy and it keeps the bead from shattering. It's the same thing. So you want to use the oil in combination. All right. Questions with that? Nope. And then you're going to have your popsicle sticks. Okay, I'm going to show you how to build that with that. Okay, we're going to build that. I think that's everything in the kit. If I missed it, oh, the wax. Ugh. Sometimes it's tight, but this is really good wax. It's much like your car wax, but remember that this type of wax sits really well with the metals, bare metal, versus like paint. Okay, so this one works really good with bare metal. All right, this is made in England. It's good stuff. If you notice that your container is cracking, just remove it and put it into something else. All right, because sometimes I press too hard. I just cracked it just now. I just cracked the container, but it's not a big deal. All right. Okay, I'll crack that open, leave it open. Let's put our gloves on. If you plan on cleaning right now. I do. I want to clean those pliers and take the scratches, take the rust spots off my oval wrist mandrel. If you guys don't have one, it's a good tool to have. It's our original bracelet mandrel. We never carried around until about 10 years ago when people started making those bangles. You know, those Tahitian bangles, those. All right, put our gloves on. Sometimes it helps to put a little powder. Talc-free powder works best. You know, baby bottom type. Cornstarch is also good. All right, so once you have your gloves on, oh God, these are tight. Okay, we're gonna find a piece of metal that you're gonna clean, AKA tool. Lay it on a piece of paper or a cloth. Okay, let's start out easy. We're gonna do this bench. We're gonna do this bracelet mandrel right here. You see the spotting? Looks like freckles. We're gonna get rid of them. Okay. There we go. Get your oil out, uncap it, leave it on the side. You can prop it up because it actually stands up. Okay. If you have a tool stand, and I'll show you guys how to make tool stand later. I didn't tell anybody, but I want to do for a new Zoom class how to build your own hammer stand. That sound fun? You can chime in later. But a simple hammer stand using either recycled wood or bought wood. All right, so I want you guys to take your most coarse wet dry. This one's going to be 220. and we're gonna rub it. I'm gonna use this spot right here so you guys can see. There. Connie, thanks for putting the lights together.
Does that help?
Yep. So what you want to do for the first, and then just wipe that and let's see what it looks like. Not bad. There, not bad. Okay, that's, it used to look like that. And now it's like that. So let's get a little bit more off it. You can add more oil, but if your wet dry still has a little bit of oil, you don't have to add too much. So I like to, I'm removing the rust in direction of the way the tool was formed. And in this case, it's like cylindrical like this, so it's cut this way. So I'm going to keep in that. And I'm using my thumb to push this down. Okay, just like that. And later, you can build these like that. And then you can push down on it like this. Okay, but for this, for the most part, let's just get this. Let's scrub this off. You can actually feel the metal. I'm using the edge of my thumb, right? I'm using this part of my thumb right here to push down on it. The fatty part I'll reserve for the softer one, but I want to really get into it. So I'm going to hold down and push. Okay, I'm trying to get a good there. How's that looking, guys? Pretty good. Just a little bit of, see, this part right here, this is like a stain, but it's not gonna affect your jewelry when you hammer on it with your wire and your hammer. I'll try one more time, and then I'll move on to the next one. Meaning we're gonna go to a finer grit. If you notice that you're not getting that same sound, that bite, move down. Because you're using up the grit on the paper. And you're gonna notice the color is changing on your oil. It's not rusty orange, that sepia color. Now it's looking gray. Basically what that's meaning is you're getting into the metal, the actual steel. And what we're working on, you guys, this is ferrous metal, so everything rusts, okay? So try not to clean stuff that doesn't have rust on it. We're using these oils and whatnot. I'll show you how to do the tool, the scratch taking outer class later. But look at that. You can keep going if you want to. If you really want to look pristine, you can actually cut down right into the metal. And I would advise using and making one of these and pressing down right onto it so you don't hurt your hands. And then once you get the look of the metal that you want, meaning, you know, shiny like this, then you can continue on. But what I'm going to do is, let me just make a quick, without having to. Look at the color difference. That is the first time, and that's it now. Rusty, orange, black, and now we're going to get into almost all gone. I just got to get into here with putting it down. Give me 1 second. So you can use these as pressure plates to get the hard. And look at that color. That's steel. It's kind of like erasing paper. Okay. How's that? Almost all gone, and it actually feels like there's nothing there. Almost all gone. If you really, really, really want to get rid of this, you can keep going with a 220. You may be able to purchase in the hardware store something a little bit more coarse than the 220. But be careful, you could scratch up your metal. And this works with pliers too. If your pliers are really, really bad, okay, I'm gonna stop now. There. All that work just for that little guy. So now, after we're done with the 220, we're gonna work on the next one, which is the 320. Put that right down over there. And let's use our thumb. Index finger, middle finger. So what we're doing is we're trying to get to, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this shiny, we're trying to get to that same luster. And then by the time we reach 1500, the luster should be almost the same as our original. Okay, the 1500 or the 1200. So remember, add your oil so the dust doesn't go flying everywhere. Use your 3 fingers like this, 4 fingers. You can use your thumb. Get in there, rub up and down that same area. So whatever you scratch prior to. So if you use the 220 in a large space, remember to clean the same space again, because that way the grit of the sandpaper will even the surface area. How's that? Almost hard to see the stain anymore. Okay, I'm gonna work another, I'm gonna go in a little bit more. So if you notice, we did a lot of work with the 220, so it is a very important stage of cleaning. So really get in there with the initial to get out I guess the root of the problem, which is that rust spot. And then with that, you can go back with these to clean up. Okay, this is what I have left. This is a little oil spot. I'm gonna wipe it off, and you can see how clean, how nice and gray that oil is. Wipe it off.
So I'm going to ask a quick question right now.
Go ahead.
We watched you go. Do you always go through all the grits of the sandpaper from the coarsest to the finest on every rest spot that you find?
Depends. So if your final finish on your like this, the bracelet mandrel is within the grits. So if 320 looks like your original base color, base texture, then you can stop here. But if you want, if it's still dull looking, you may want to go one more, which is the next one up, which is the 400. And I think it looks like the 400 might be the actual look of the bracelet mandrel, because the bracelet mandrel itself isn't like chrome shiny. You know, it's eyeball shiny. You know, it has a nice little satin finish. And these are all considered, believe it or not, all the ones that we're using here is considered between medium and fine grits, okay? But that's a great question. You don't have to go through up to 1500 because it looks like, no, we're gonna have to go 600 with this. So if you look at it, it's almost done, but it's still a little dull. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do.
So basically you want to match.
Just keep on going. There, look everybody. Almost done.
The area.
So what I'm going to do is one more. I'm going to go to 600. I'm going to go to 600.
Just keep working up the grid until you match
Finish
that
this
metal
off.
color.
I don't know. I don't think I have to go to 1500, but you know, let's just take it to 1500, so you guys can see the difference if you stopped at 600 and if we stopped at 1500. How's that? It's not going to damage the metal because you're already past the you've passed the point where you've taken off the junk. Right now, it's all cosmetic. And I'm going to use this. See, I'm using my and that's basically how we use a file. That's smooth. No more rust spot. You can't even feel it anymore. That's ready to work with again. So if you were to put a piece of metal on top of here, and this is a bench block, you would actually get the reflection back of that onto your piece. But if you put it on here, you know, a nice clean spot, perfect. Let's use our handmade, homemade 1500 polisher. And listen to the grit. Can you guys hear that? It's smooth. Oh, that's good. Okay. So that's how we clean that one. I'm going to show you how to build a 220. I'm going to build a 220 file with this popsicle stick. Off subject, but let's use that now. So 220 popsicle stick or file. We're going to put it down like this. I think I did it this way the last time. I think that's good. And then we're going to fold it You can crease it for you paper crafter guys. You probably can show me off. Just like that. And just go with the shape. There. That's where I want to be, sort of, where there's that down, so there's a little bit of surface area. Let me take this down. Now, it might be a little tricky with gloves on, so you may want to use your pliers to peel it off. And that's how you build your go. So now we can use this to take off the rest of these. Done. Okay. So let's go do pliers. Everybody has a rusty plier, right? Someone must have one. Okay. With rusty pliers, the easiest way to do this one is first get in there with a 220 with your hands, and then we can use this 220 file to get rid of the rest of the junk. So put oil down. And clean away. Okay. He's coming off right now. Before, I don't have any more. Before it used to look like that. Okay, now we're gonna get rid of it, and hopefully it'll look good. There. So get down in there with your oil and your 220. And I won't call it 220 grit anymore. I'll just call it by the number. So if you guys see me say 220 or 400, that's the grit we're using. And just get in there, get rid of that. And you hear this, and then you hear that. There's a sound difference. This has got still a lot of rust. This has no rust. So right now we're working with the bare metal. And you want to stop when you can see there. Can you guys see that? That's what you want to see. Nice and clean. Remember, it used to look like that. There, with all that spotting. Now it's like that. Now you can leave it like this. You know, if you want to have a satin finish and you don't have to clean it, is there an advantage to this? Yes, you don't have to work so hard. And cleaning, again, would be a lot easier. Okay, but if you wanted a little bit more, I guess, a reflective surface, you can go to the 400, up to 400. But right now we're at 220. And I'm going to use that file that we made to get into the smaller areas, because it's really hard to clean this if you have round nose pliers, or if you have chain nose pliers that have been rusted. It's really hard to get into that area. So using a flat surface like this is a lot easier. So a little bit of oil. Get a good angle there. How's that? And then watch this. Oops, sorry. There. How's that? I know everybody, I've seen pliers come into the store and then you know who you are. I notice rust spots and then it's really hard to clean it because your hands can't really push down that hard. You can make one of these popsicle stick files and just really get in there and just clean that, get those spots off there. Because remember, that rust spot is going to reflect back onto your wire. So all of this junk here, sorry, there is going to reflect back into your wire. It's going to make little dents. So let's clean that off. Flatten out like this. So flatten your file and then push down. Flatten it and then push down. That way you don't change the surface of the, you don't mess up the bite. So, and then look. How's that? Isn't that nice? And this one I like to leave with a 220 because it has bite without having teeth. So when you grab your wire, it won't slip when you do the work. How's that? So that's the cleaning of the inside part. It's really hard to clean this stuff here. I will give you that. What we can do is we put a little bit of oil on there and then we'll take the steel wool and just kind of get rid of that junk because it's inside there. You can build your own file like this using really thin popsicle sticks and get in there and just go in like this. But that's a lot of work, guys. It's up to you. I'm not going to do it. You know? Oh yeah, this popsicle stick works. So you can actually clean that in there. But for the most part, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to oil it up and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to show you one side with a clean handle and I'm going to show you one side with a not so clean handle. No? The lawn guy is here, so you're going to hear a little bit of background noise. Natiri was here earlier, the kitty cat, but she decided to leave because she's not number one. So that or she ate something. But you might show up. We'll see. All right. How's that? That's using that that homemade file. And then that's the rusty one. See that? And then the cleaned up side. All right. Okay, after you're done with all of this, what you need to do is you need to condition your tools. So if your tools are like, look, like stiff, like this, guess what? This is called a clock oiler. So this has a nice little oiling tip. You can put that right in there. And right away you can see, there we go. So after you do all of this, condition your tools. For your pliers, use the clock oiler because that gets in there. There. And these are. And even for your tools that don't, you're not cleaning with rust, like your favorite instruments. Pop it in there. That's there. That's there. And I do recommend if you do, and you're going to keep your tools, well, nowadays we're going to be indoors all the time. So right there, dab it in there, dab it in there. And I actually put oil on this exposed blade part, this right here. So it keeps the rust off. Because this is bare metal. And it keeps the blade nice and sharp. So you don't have to clean it. Okay, so you can put your oil, you can even put right in there into the tightening screw. Okay. it does suck it up. Oh, there we go. Wow, these are better now. How's that? And you're going to notice as you're using it, if you have tools that you haven't used in a while, you're going to notice that it's going to expel rust outside the edges. Okay, it's going to look rusty, rust coming out of the edges from the oil where you placed it in there. Okay, how's that? That looks good. Oh, I love this cutter. This one you want to keep nice and clean all the time. You want to keep that blade nice and shiny and sharp. This is our Lindstrom flesh cutters for fine work. You know that one? Love that. Pop it in there. Okay, so that's with that. After you're done with this, okay, we have this. Go back to this. Okay, this is all nice and this area is nice and clean. All that stuff is all ripped off and clean. You want to condition it. Okay, so we're going to use the Renaissance wax, this micro crystalline wax. You can look it up online. There's a really good write-up on it. They've been using this for decades. It comes in a really big container, but we kept it. This is a perfect size for you guys. Use a clean cloth. There it is. Okay, clean cloth, dirty cloth. Use your clean cloth. Take some, yeah. Just rub it onto your surface. Okay, just like that. Suppose you have rust spots and you didn't want to clean it, do it anyway. It'll stop the growth of the rust. And then you can get back to it later. Okay? It's like a stopgap. Oh, that feels good. That's nice, guys. Like that. And if you had a bench block that's chrome plated and you can't do any of this to it, what you can do is you can put this on there and it could give you a little bit better surface just to work with so you don't get too much scratches. Oh, that's nice. All right. Let's see. I'm going to unmute you guys so you guys can ask me some questions. I don't think Jamie is around. Not too sure.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. So, do you have any questions, Jamie, about the building of the files using the oil and the sandpapers?
No, does everybody know about the chat screen? I was taking notes and putting notes in the chat screen while Jason was talking for the last 40 minutes. So there's different things about what happened. If you can't remember, I can give you just a recap, basically, which is when you're sanding, use the lowest number first, which is the coarsest.
Yeah, 220.
And if you're in doubt, touch the paper. Run your hand over the paper. If it feels super smooth, you'll find that that's going to be, if you run it over your hand, you'll find that that's going to usually be the finest grip. And so if you can't ever remember, the numbers are not on the back of it, you can just do it by running your finger over the sandpaper as well. And he did say he likes the 220 for his homemade file, which I think is super awesome. You can never have too many of those homemade files lying around.
Yeah, so
if you guys have any questions now, Heidi Kwong said, how does she unclog the oil? Nothing is coming out of hers.
Oh, sorry about that. And sometimes in shipping, it gets kind of clogged. What you can do is, you guys have 26 gauge wire? You do, of course you guys do. You're gonna take that, you're gonna just shove it in there. How's that sound? So use a stiff piece of wire. Since we're beaters and wire workers, we can take a 26 gauge wire, just shove it in there, it'll clean it out. That happens a lot with my, my flux bottle. So what I do is I use 26 or 28 gauge wire, shove it down the tip, and then it should, there must be something that's stuck in there, but I apologize for that. Anybody else with a clogged, I don't want to say spigot, but tube?
And if that doesn't work, Heidi, just bring it back to me and we'll give you a different one.
Correct, yes. Correct. But if you want a quick fix, that's the quick fix. Oh, also, that wax, look at what it does for it conditions the metal. How's that?
The wax is pretty awesome.
It's pretty good stuff, man. They actually use it in museums, so.
Okay, now if you guys have a question and you don't know how to maneuver through Zoom for some reason, go ahead and raise your hand and I will unmute you. If you don't know how to unmute yourself, like just wildly raise your hands around and I'll watch the screen. And if I see a moving hand, I will unmute you. Diane, okay, hold on, Diane. I'm unmuting you. And you can unmute yourself as well, but I will do that for you. Hang on one second. One moment, please. It is not unmuting. Okay, I cannot unmute Diane.
Okay, let me check. Let me look for Diane.
Okay.
Diane.
Oh, wait, here we go. Now it's working.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, Diane.
I just didn't want to touch my screen with my oily finger.
Me too. I was using my pinky to scroll down to find you.
Can you use or should you use the wax on your tools?
You can. Yep. Yep. It's going to condition the metal. And remember, we're talking about bare metal, yeah? So you can use it on your tools. I'll show you. Just take a little bit on the clean side. Again, clean side versus the dirty side. Use a clean side of the tool, the paper. And then we clean this, right? Okay, just rub it on there. Okay, now if it's the inside jaw, you can use it in there, okay? But remember that it's gonna give it might be a little slippery, so wipe it off before you use, okay? Just like if it were oil, okay? But basically what we want, look at that. That's what we just cleaned off. Just put it in there. We're conditioning the metal so the inside scratches don't get, won't catch that, the moisture and create rust again. So yes, you can use that wax on your tools.
How do you clean the vinyl handles?
Oh, that one you can just use any cleaning solvent. You have vinyl, so the German tools, even the Lindstroms are made out of plastic. For this one, I've been using, if I really want to clean it really, really good, is I just use some rubbing alcohol. I'll take that off. But for the vinyl ones, just use a damp cloth. Is it stained?
Yeah, my one Lindstrom is kind of yellowed.
Yellowed is just old plastic. Nothing really you can do with that. Look at, this is a new one and this is my older one. Do you see how they're getting yellowed?
Yeah, mine looks like that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just getting harder.
Okay.
So eventually you're going to start to crack. And we tell this to everybody who purchases Lindstroms. You can give it to us and we can send it in for processing. But as of right now, they're not doing any reconditioning as of this moment. They kind of stalled that because they can't go into the shop. So give it a few months before we're back up and around with the cleaning of tools.
Okay.
But yeah, we can have the handles put back on there for you as new. But I tell people just wait till they break. Because it's really hard unless you have two sets of tools. All right, anybody else?
I can unmute. Oh, you want to? Oh, okay. Jason, okay, this is what I did when I cleaned right here. Okay, but I'm going to show you how bad.
Oh, there's a big one.
Lost cause.
No, not lost cause, just a lot of work.
You know what? I'm like, oh my God. Oh, do I need a more coarser?
No. So you're going to use the 220.
I'm going to use a 220 on this.
Yeah, did you use it yet?
Well, I use in one spot. You know, the one I showed you.
Yeah. How's it look?
It looks like.
It looks good.
Like over here.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it.
You know what we're going to do is you're going to go to a hardware store and see if they can get you like a 180.
A 180.
Yeah, hardware.
Okay. And
Wet
then
and dry.
I'm gonna try that because these guys are really.
Yeah, so after you use the 180, and they're gonna probably either sell you a sheet at I don't know if it's City Mill, but at Home Depot, I think they sell it in packs of 3 or 5.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's what I don't want you guys to do, is like you invest in all that paper and you only use it one time. That's why these sets are perfect for cleaning, because you have 2 sets of each. But for the most part, if you don't mind using the 220, you can just keep cutting into that. Just keep cutting in there. And I can get you more 220. It's easy. That's an easy one to get.
Because remember, I ordered from Amazon and the shipping is in May. That's why I didn't want to go out, and I said, "Oh, forget it." So when you had these tools, cleaning,
Yep.
I bought it so I could just get.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so use your 220, cut into it,
Yeah.
you know, and then you make these,
Yeah.
make this 220 file,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then use your index finger or your thumb and just keep, you know, watch Netflix up and down, or watch a good movie, or watch a good opera or something to relax you.
All right.
Just keep going, because you can see mine is like that.
Well, yours looks so nice. You want to trade?
No.
Joking.
No. Nah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
these schools, man, they got beat up. So everybody's got a story. So yeah. All right. Anybody else?
Bye for me.
Jason,
Yes.
what is the steel wool for?
Final finishing. So you can do after, if you need to go even further than this, and just for general clean. So if suppose you're, let me try to find a tool that's not so dirty. This is not bad. Okay. Sometimes you'll get a tool that's a little bit spotty, but not really damaged. Let me see which one I should use. Okay, like this. There's a little bit of junk on there. You can just take your steel wool, and it's just like ultra fine sandpaper. Think of it as like 3,000 grit sandpaper. So this is 1,500, right? Or 1,200, right? Or 1,200, whichever one I have you guys get. This is the one step after that. So if it needs a little bit more, or you just need a simple cleaning, look at that. That's it. That's it. See, just simple cleaning. I mean, this is like maintenance. This is your maintenance tool. This ultra fine steel wool. It's maintenance. And it'll just keep your tools without having to like rip it up all that. Because when you use this, you guys, if you're using 1,500, you're gonna notice it's gonna leave scratch marks. Let me use it here and I'll just show you. Here, I'll just use that same plier. I'm gonna show you. It leaves scratch marks. Okay, it leaves scratch marks. You can't really see it now. It leaves scratch marks, but this doesn't leave a scratch mark. Okay, this is maintenance. This will just take the stuff off. It actually just leaves a nice, see that fine satin finish. It doesn't leave scratch marks like the paper does. So this is good for tools that are clean, but look like they're going to get dirty sooner than later. Because what you can do is you can put this on there, clean it like that. And after that's done, go back over here, clean cloth, and then apply this on here. And then you can store your tools without having to worry, especially if you live in Kaneohe.
Okay, thanks.
How's that? That actually looks nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, and then you can store this without having to worry about it getting rusty. Okay.
Hey,
Next
does
question.
anyone else have questions? I can unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. Okay, I think that would wrap it up, Jason. If you have anything else you want to share.
let's see. Come visit me for, I didn't make my sample, guys, for the herringbone earring. Also, what else are we having? Oh, the beach glass, the sea glass class. What else is there, Jane? Oh, I'm gonna do a fusing and a soldering class on Zoom with some stipulations. You guys gotta sign stuff so you don't burn yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna end this session real quick on the recording so I can send this to everyone.
Okay, we're good.
Thank you for hosting this tool class, the tool demo. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I can send everybody a recording if you'd like one.